David Warren Bolster was born in 1849 and grew up in Weston, Vermont. He had 13 siblings: Mary E., Flora A., Eva A., Effie, Ida Jane, Charles Ebenezer, Elmer Ellaworth, Bob B., Lucy Mary, Fred Warren, Jenny E., and Leon Bolster. His parents, Jared Bolster, was a farmer, and Mary Hutchinson was a housewife. A lot of soldiers came from the same town and grew up together. They fought in the war, side by side, brother against enemy. Families often got information about their son through a neighbor that fought with him. Weston was spread apart and looks very different than it does today. There are very few shops, and houses were distant from each other. At a young age of 15, David switched his name from Warren David Bolster to David Warren Bolster, lied about his age, and joined the Civil War. He was mustered in on July 29, 1864. To join the war, you must be at least 17 years old. Life at home must have been very hard for most people. Letters took weeks to reach their destination, and most men had enlisted in the war where a lot never came back. The schools were in a one-room schoolhouse with all ages of children who sat on different sides of the room according to their age. David Warren Bolster joined Company E in the USSS. Life at war must have been very tough for the soldiers who carried heavy weapons such as guns and swords on their backs when traveling to another battle. Their living quarters were cramped, and they didn't stay for long. Most men died of battle wounds or diseases, while some came back, even more didn't. They had to fight battle after battle and watch close friends and family members die. They had to walk everywhere because there was no transportation. They always needed new men to join and fight in the war. They wrote to their families, but the letters took a long time to return back to them. Most men wrote a diary to write about what was happening in the war. Only a few diaries survived and can be seen today. In total, 750,000 men died in the Civil War. The drummer boy was essential during the war. When the captain wanted something to be done, he would tell the drummer boy, and then the drummer boy would beat out a signal on his drum. During the battle, most soldiers would aim to kill the drummer boy since he was the most vulnerable and needed the most. Drummer boys were the youngest out of all men, aging from 12 to 16. David Warren Bolster was shot on picket just 1 month after he enlisted in the war. Today he is buried in the Arlington National Cemetery, Virginia.